Hey guys, I am Simba. I'm a physical and emotional therapist, and I'm here to tell you that AS is curable and you can find a way to completely ease your suffering, your symptoms, and your pain. It's not a lifelong diagnosis, it's not a lifelong disease. I know this is going to challenge some of your beliefs, but I had AS about 12 years ago. I was diagnosed and I have had no symptoms for a very, very long time. You may say it's regression, but I've seen this time and time again with multiple people that have worked with me. And I want to inspire you to do the work that is required because your body is here to communicate something to you. And it's communicating that there is some change and some expression that is required from your system. So stay tuned and I'll give you some more information. I have 99.9% no symptoms. If I stray away from certain things and I start to treat my body like crap and I move away from all the practices and all the ideas that is authentic and true within me, yeah, sure, I get a little bit of inflammation. But, nearly every single day of the year, I feel incredible. If not, I feel even better than what I felt prior to getting any symptoms. And I had symptoms in my early teens, late teens, right? Very minute, but I was unable to pick up that it was anything at all to be worried about. And, I first got a really big hit probably when I was 20 and then officially diagnosed in my early 20s. It took me about 6-7 years of really understanding my body, learning to listen not only to my physical body, but my emotional body, and understand what I was choosing to believe and how that was creating the reality in my body, the reality in my being. I only ever used to see the body as just a mechanical meat suit. It just has a function of being physical in the world, it's material, it's just your cells and your biology. But this was a problem of my understanding, not knowing that the body is so much more than that, that the human being is so much more than that. And when you treat illness, when you treat sickness, when you treat disease, you need to think of the human being that's in front of you. You need to think of the body, so the biology, of course. You need to think of the mind, the psychology. You need to think of all your social relationships and how you feel in relation to the outside world, in relation to the other. Because this is a big part of what constitutes you. And this can create a lot of illness and sickness. And maybe some of this already resonates with you. If you know there's broken relationships in your life, with family, with friends, with work colleagues, things that have been long-lasting from your childhood. And then the next area of what I believe that needs to be looked at, or how I treat the human being, is the belief system. You're a spiritual being too. You're the sum of all your beliefs. And each belief has a ripple effect on how you not only treat your body, but how you reflect thoughts in your mind, how you move through the world, what you do for work, what you eat, how you move, whether you believe something is healable, whether you believe something is going to be there forever, whether you believe everything that everyone says that is in any level of expert authority, even though they're just another human being trying to figure it out like yourself. Yes, they may have studied extra things. Yes, they may have done extra things, but still you must make up your own opinion, and that opinion ends up becoming your belief. So if you only just focus on my belief is something that I saw someone that I think to be more intelligent than me, and you put yourself on a lower stand, then you're just mimicking someone else's belief, or a belief they learnt from another or from a textbook. And where did the textbook's belief come from? So if you track back all the beliefs, right, the only real belief is the one that you feel that is truly true inside. And if you can stand here and meditate on it and really feel that, yes, I believe that there are certain things like AS that are untreatable, unhealable, that I'm going to have this forever, cool, then you'll probably have it forever. But if you are able to change your belief and you are able to actually move through this and listen to your body, understand what it needs, and if you can truly say to yourself that I have listened to all my body's needs physically, with movement, with nutrition, How do I move it? How do I move my spine, my hips, my ankles, my shoulders, my wrists? Do I lubricate them? Do I nourish them in a certain way? Right? Do I have the knowledge and understanding to bring the awareness of my body? With my nutrition, with my gut health. My gut health represents the building blocks of my entire system, especially my joints. And if I'm not feeding my body proper nutrition, then of course the body's not going to repair. Of course the body's going to be inflamed. Food is our relationship with the outside world. You put something in your mouth, it very intimately touches all parts of your body from your throat to your anus. And your body's going to be very unhappy if you constantly are feeding it, and especially if it's built up over years, if you've been feeding it toxic food. So you need to think about your nutrition, how that affects your joints. You need to think about your emotional health. So much tension and rigidity in the body is created because we are holding on to emotions that need a way to express themselves. So much frustration and anger being held in the ankles, in the knees, in the hips, in the spine, in the ribs. I see so many patients that have anger and frustration at the very center of their being, and it's being expressed somewhere. It's been buried and buried and buried and buried until eventually it needs somewhere to go. Or fear, or lack of stability or security that manifests in the lower back, in the hips, unable to make change, and unable to adapt to the new way things are moving in your life, holding on to old rigid patterns. These lines, literal lines in your body of rigidity are being created. And of course, your joints are going to feel tight, stiff, inflamed, and sore. It's a lot to take in. There's many different layers that we need to work with and look at when we're treating a human being. Unfortunately, what we tend to do is look at it very myopically through a very small lens, like a little telescope. Be like, your knee's sore. Let us just only examine the knee. What about if the knee was a sounding board for your entire system for a moment in time? And it was trying to communicate to you that maybe the direction you are stepping in is not right. It's not going to be supportive of who you are. Now, this is maybe challenging your beliefs. Can I believe that my body part could express something that's deep within? That it's not just the mechanics of how the joint moves. It's not just the ligaments, tendons, fascia, the skin, and all the musculature. Maybe it's more than that. Of course it's more than that. Where do you think your mind is? Your mind is in all your cells. Where do you think your emotions are? They exist in your body. They're not just above your neck. So I really want you to think about, how does my body, my mind, my emotions, my social relationships, and my beliefs, how are they impacting my condition, my state? And remember, one of the laws of nature is that nature is ever changing. We are a part of that nature. Our state is not stagnant. You are not stagnant. You don't need to have a disease which is incurable. It can be curable, and it should be, and I believe it to be. I'm living proof, and I have a heap of individuals that I've worked with that are living proofs. I would love to help you, so please, if you feel inclined, reach out to me. You'll know where to find me. It's not that hard. Find my bio. I really only make these videos because I'm sick and tired of how people are being sold a narrative that they cannot heal, that they are stuck. And I see it so much, time and time again, of the people that not only come and see me, but the people on internet forums and the comments and the world at large and rhetoric from certain doctors. I've got nothing against Western medicine. I think it's incredible at working with acute problems, but I think there's a big lack in its understanding when it comes to chronic problems. Once again, we need to look at the entire human being that's sitting in front of you, not at just one little myopic lens. Hopefully this has inspired you. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you are inspired to change your beliefs, or at least be curious about them, because I know beliefs take time to change. And if my story has been inspirational to you, then go forth and know that the only thing that is permanent is change, and this is inclusive of your AS. With vitality, Simba. A really easy exercise you can do at home is list and describe the 5 most impactful stresses in your life. So write them down. Stressor number 1, stressor number 2, stressor number 3, number 4, number 5. These could be events, moments, experiences that occurred in your life, and describe them. It may take a moment for them to drop in. There's no right or wrong. Just write them down, and then give yourself some time to not only see the negative in those stresses or those tough moments, but see the positive ripple effects of how they've allowed you to change, how they've allowed your perspective to maybe change, how they've allowed maybe some habits to change. And yes, some of these events could have regressed you, but in some way, shape, or form, you have evolved. And I want you to find that piece, that part within you that has evolved, because it does exist. Once again, this may challenge a belief that no, this stressor, this time that this really bad emotional moment happened to me, or this physical moment happened to me, or this experience that I had really scarred me and traumatized me. Yes, I'm not denying that it did, but what I'm asking you to do is find the positivity in your life experience of how it could have changed. And if you say, I don't know, what if you knew? What if you knew that there was a positive influence on you from this tough, traumatizing experience? What could it be? Find it within yourself. I've done this with myself and multiple clients, and we've analyzed it, and we've come to peace and ease with some of these moments and experiences that have been really challenging in our lives. And it's been a very powerful exercise to heal and allow the emotion to move through you and feel what you are truly feeling. This is a really nice exercise that is powerful, and I recommend that you do on your journey of allowing the emotion to be expressed through your body and coming to ease and self-realization that you no longer need to hold all the stuff that you hold or feel the burden of holding on to experiences and moments and traumas that you've collected over time. Anyway, try it out.